What's up, everyone? Showdown breakdown time. Thursday night football. Bobbywow, we got a banger. Not really. The Raiders at the Broncos in a bit of a stinker. 43-point total. Broncos 9-point home favorites. We're following up on the emergence of Brock Bowers, aka Brock Superpowers. After what we saw last week, the real Brock came out.
Yes, he's back. He's back.
Healthy Bowers. We've also got the backdrop of just Geno Smith having been terrible in the face of pressure all year, going up against a pressure defense.
Yep.
Gonna be interesting. So, Broncos at home, great defensive team, taking on a team that has not played well against good defenses. No more Jacoby Myers. Does not matter. They weren't throwing to him anyway. Means nothing. Or what it does mean, Bobbywow, I think, is that some other wide receivers will have to emerge as at least potential targets for cheap on the Raiders for tonight.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Let's get a quick look at the should we go ownerships first or matchups first?
Let's go matchups. Let's go matchups first.
All right. Let's jump to the matchups first. Then we'll take a look at the ownership. So, again, one of the biggest mysteries on this Denver team is like kind of what's going on with the running backs. Dobbins is in there, Harvey's in there. Harvey seems to be in the game a lot more around the goal line for some reason. Dobbins kind of running between the tackles here. So you've got Dobbins coming off of a 46%. I mean, this is yearly. So for the season, Dobbins snap count is 51%, followed by Harvey, and then a little Tyler Batty mixed in. Get a little Batty in there mixed in, and that's seasonal. And then also last week, kind of the same. Target numbers kind of seem to be a little bit higher for RJ Harvey. Batty gets in there too. And so honestly, this is exactly how they did it last year with Javonte.
This is exactly what we would expect out of a Sean Payton offense.
Remember how
what they do. It's what he does.
Yeah. Remember how everybody's like, Javonte sucks, like at the beginning of this year, because he couldn't nail down the job for basically the thought last year coming into this year was like they were mixing up three running backs exactly in this exact mix. The thought was maybe Javonte's not that good. And that's why they're doing it. As it turns out, I believe it appears to be that's just what Sean Payton wants to do. Does not matter who's back there or how talented the RB1 is. He wants it too. He's got a third guy that's training exclusively for, third down, hurry up type stuff. And that's how they play it.
Third guy playing that Jaleel McLaughlin role.
Yeah.
From last season. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Literally exactly the same.
These percentages have not changed from 2024 to 2025. The only thing that changed here is the names. And so expect more of the same at running back.
Agreed.
Tough one. Cannot heavily rely on Dobbins. He's not going to get more than 50% of the snaps, even though he'll get more of those carries. But again, no passing game work. Scrolling down here to the pass catchers, Evan Ingram, Adam Troutman, and who knew Mercedes Lewis is still in the National Football League? He's still out there blocking away. But
just signed, I think last week was his first week back.
Is that what it was? I'm like, yeah, Mercedes Lewis getting the mix. This guy's like 47 years old. Who thought? Who would even believe it? Mercedes Lewis was a great weapon with Brett Favre back in the day, though. I was waiting for you to pick it up. There was like a second delay on that, and you were like, "Wait,
because it was not even that far fetched. Like he's closer than we would think."
No, I think he was. I think he actually was. All right, so no, it's just young Brett Favre like Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. That's what it was.
So at wide receiver, this is interesting. So Courtland Sutton continues to be, the guy that's out there on all the snaps. And last week we saw a breakout kind of game for Troy Franklin. I think that breakout should have been expected, though. Matchup-wise, it was pointing to Franklin a little bit last week. The thing that's interesting me here is that Pat Bryant seems to have the WR3 role on lockdown.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Where's Mims?
He's out, and he's out today.
Mims is officially out. He's officially out. Okay.
I mean, with Mims out.
Russian. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
With Mims out, yes, you are right. Pat Bryant is the guy.
These other two guys are complete turds. Trent Sherfield has been around the NFL for forever. And I don't know who Michael Bandy is. Who the fuck is that guy? So I think we know our three main pass catchers. At tight end, I'd have to say that it has not been all that we've expected from Evan Ingram this year.
No. It's been bad.
Yeah, I don't know why that would turn around. So he's just a secondary, kind of an afterthought piece, unless he's so cheap that it forces you to want to play him. Like anything in the 5 or 6K and up range, I'm not that.
He's getting out snapped by Adam Troutman at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they're running the football. Evan Ingram's a pass catcher. Yeah. So there we go. That's your Broncos offense. I think of all of these pieces, straight Bo Nix is probably the best piece of them all.
It's interesting. The Broncos are such a bizarre team because they're, we talked about their running back room functioning the way it does. Their wide receiver group is very similar in the sense that it could be anybody. Now Mims is out, so that kind of narrows it down a little bit for us. But like we've kind of seen Cortland Sutton go back to his role of just middling, 6'7", as the kids say, right? He's just kind of been middling, and he's back into that like purgatory of 11 or 12 points. I don't know. I shouldn't have said it. I don't even know.
6'7". All right.
But it's a bizarre night. And so I think you're exactly right. Even Bo Nix, though, my point is he's kind of like a Tim Tebow 2.0, where he'll disappear. He'll be gone for the first like 2 or 3 quarters. And all of a sudden, boom, Bo Nix wakes up. He throws a couple touchdown passes, and there we are, So it's a really interesting game in that sense, where we really don't have like lock button type of plays on this slate by any means.
My guess is that will show in the captain ownerships when we go out. That's why I wanted to keep that as a spoiler. That's brilliant. That's going to show in the captain's exposures when we go check that out. Denver defense, hell yeah, that's in play.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
They're still missing Surtain, right? He's out.
I'm assuming Surtain is still out, what does it really actually mean? Who's the WR1 for the Raiders? Like, who are they going to put him on, even if he's in there?
Well, it's just a little bit better for the Raiders. That's really all it means.
Yeah. Like, I don't think Surtain was going to be on Brock Bowers. And so, but yes, so let's see. Let's shift focus here to the Raiders. Again, tough spot for Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty, though, beautifully is getting virtually all of the work at this point. They're like, YOLO, what are we doing? Let's give him all the touches. Ashton Jeanty out there getting all the touches. 90% of the snaps at running back last week, all of the running back targets, all of the running back work to Ashton Jeanty at this point, which is the correct move if you're the Raiders, no? Who are they playing? Raheem Mostert?
Right.
This one's really interesting. Last week, the way the Raiders played that game, they played double tight end the entire game. And I want to take note of this, right? So you had Brock Bowers at an 81% snap count, Michael Mayer at an 82% snap count, and both of them were getting targets. Bobbywow, if this continues, which I don't see why it won't, right? They clearly traded away their top wide receiver. They don't throw to him anyway. And they went with a double tight end, heavy running game approach. Obviously, Brock Bowers is the man. And I think part of the reason that looks like that is because Brock Bowers is being used as a wide receiver, but out of the tight end position.
Yep. You're exactly right.
It's causing mismatches. When you play 12 personnel, and then you split the tight end out wide or in the slot, he ends up often getting covered by a safety or a linebacker. And that's how they're creating a lot of these mismatches. while keeping Ashton Jeanty in the game. It's a beautiful. I mean, this is how the Patriots dominated the National Football League for years. They combined that approach with a quality quarterback that can make amazing decisions, and the offense was unstoppable because it's hard for a linebacker or even a safety to cover Brock Bowers, or when it was the Patriots, Gronk, right, or Aaron Hernandez, whatever.
Yeah, so, and both guys are legitimate pass catchers, just like that offense. And look, Michael Mayer is better than any wide receiver the Raiders have right now. I know everyone's excited about Lockett, but that guy, he's old, and Michael Mayer is going to see his targets for sure.
Yeah, I like it. I like this. This is clarifying. Even just seeing this should be opening eyes and clarifying. Listen, they're going to play double tight end. Michael Mayer is a reasonable play this week, and Brock Bowers remains really good. The double tight end approach also helps Ashton Jeanty a smidge because, it's an extra blocker in there. And in order to set up those passes to the tight end, they have to create a running game threat. Can they pull it all off? I don't know. But it's a wise decision for a team that has played terribly under pressure this year. The worst in the league, by the way. Geno has been the worst in the league under pressure. So maybe this kind of is an adjustment to the offense for that purpose.
Yes.
All right, so let's continue down and talk about these wide receivers. So obviously they traded away Jacoby Myers and his 90% snap count. Trey Tucker's still out there 98% of the time, and it looks like the most likely, although not definitive replacement for Jacoby's role could be Tyler Lockett. Here, he was kind of ramping his way up in the offense.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I mean, it could Lockett, be Dante Thornton. I don't know.
We thought it was going to be Lockett in Tennessee as well. This is not a good situation for Lockett either. So it could be any one of these guys.
He's very washed. Could be Jack Betch. Dante Thornton got the most. I mean, these guys are all competing in terms of snap counts. I don't love any of them.
No, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, Trey Tucker is the number. He's the guy.
If Surtain was playing, they'd have him on Tucker probably.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Nathan is very Nathan Shepard.
Nathan is pumped. He's
very
pumped
excited
about Tyler Lockett.
Nathan, though, listen, he's old school. He still remembers the Tyler Lockett of yore.
Hey, I respect it. I respect the Tyler Lockett love. I would love for Lockett to look solid tonight.
Yeah,
it's just really hard to expect a solid showing. Now, it's going to be important to see the price and the ownership, right? Because that could change things quite a bit.
Yeah, like I don't mind him as a turd, but it's tough to. Surtain is out. Yeah, there we go. So it's tough to get excited about any of these guys. Again, Geno has not been good. The first time we saw Geno even look competent all year was last week throwing to Bowers. That was it. He's been terrible. And like I said, these kind of teams play worse, not better, worse when they're on the road against a really good defense. And it's Thursday. Gross.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a little bit of that. Let's take a look at the Dom station and get a feel for the captain ownerships. Let's start there. We're going to work our way through it. All right. So, okay. All right. Here we go. So, Bobbywow, I don't know if there's any surprises here, and I don't know if the peoples at home can see it. I'll make it a little bigger. But Bo Nix, top owned guy, followed right by Brock Bowers, both at 15%. No, like, clear chalk here. This is interesting. Jeanty gets 12%. Dobbins at 12%. Dobbins has not produced a quality score all season. He's just mid. You got Sutton, Troy Franklin, Broncos defense getting some love. Evan Ingram found his way in there, and RJ Harvey and some other weird situations. So, man, this is a tricky one.
It's so gross.
Yeah, this is very tricky because, first of all, if you had to go all in on one of these, I think it's Cortland Sutton for me. I don't like the price, actually. Bowers the same price. Man, I love Bowers too. Maybe Bowers? I don't like the underdog situation.
It's probably Bowers. Yeah, for me.
Bowers, right? Maybe he's unstoppable.
It's not even that. Who cares about unstoppable? We just need him to catch a bunch of passes and find the end zone once. That's all we need.
I mean, Bo Nix, I get it. I'm not going to fade the quarterback in this situation. I think Bo Nix
Look at the props projection. He's got a 30-point props projection. I mean, clearly Bo Nix is a solid option here.
Projects massively better than everyone else. You got a cold, Bobbywow?
I do. I'm not feeling great, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm drinking so much Gatorade.
Bobbywow's bringing it. Even you know, he's got the Q tag coming in. Q tag illness stepping up to the mic. I love it.
I got a perpetual Q tag with young kids.
Took a cortisone shot before the show. Get up for this.
I know. I'm talking about Tyler Lockett like he's old. I'm older than he is. Please.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Old. All right. So
anyway. Broncos defense. I like Broncos defense as well. I think. Look, anything to me, just about anything and everything is in play on this slate. That's how gross it is. Even Dobbins, he's cheap enough to where you could make an argument, despite him not producing any tournament winning scores this season, this could be the one. This could be the night he does. You could literally make a case for just about anybody.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of slates, Monday Night Football, Showdown Breakdown, Showdown Takedown, Geeked Up 11, 25K winner.
Geeked Up, look at that.
That's how we do it here on the Showdown Breakdown, DFS Army style. So I wanted to shout out Geeked Up 911 for that monster win on Monday. Let's keep it going, guys.
And just to call it out, that was a quarterback at captain with the opposing defense in the flex. Okay. So that something not to rule out on a showdown slate.
It's not showing at all. This had double defense, which is crazy. This was a double defense lineup, I believe. Right? 1, 2, 3. 4,
no, how's that even possible?
No, there's just one. Oh yeah, you're right. I thought he had double defense in there. No, it was Cowboys defense. I remember something about the defense threw me off about that lineup where I was like, wow, what that's unique enough. And that's
Dak what happened with no pass catchers and the Cowboys defense in there with the opposing quarterback at captain.
Yeah, double stack of Brissett.
That's wild.
Really, yeah. What an unusual lineup to take it down. Awesome stuff. So again, great job, Geeked Up. Let's keep it going. Okay. So looking through, I mean, let's talk like J.K. Dobbins, Bobbywow, has not produced like a tournament winning or any kind of captain worthy score all season.
No, he hasn't. He scored 17 points 2 weeks ago. That's the highest he scored, I think, all season.
Let's see. Best guy. Yep. No, he could pop for 2 touchdowns by accident, but they seem to mix in RJ Harvey a lot more around the goal line for some reason, and he just catches those touchdowns. It could be one of those just
and Bo Nix is throwing at the goal at the goal line. That's the other thing. They're throwing the football. No, or Bo Nix is running it himself.
Yeah, he takes a lot of those touchdowns for himself. So, yeah, there it is. I think Bowers, Nix, got to have some of that. I'm not that in love with Janty as a captain. It's an underdog.
No, but the volume and the reps, the volume, he's getting so much volume. That's really why he's in consideration for me. Yeah, because there's not a lot of guys in on Las Vegas who you can rely on volume. It's really Genty and Bowers. That's it.
Yeah, that's really just about it. Harvey, unacceptable. So yeah, what a weird one going on in captain. Let's take a look at some of these flex ownerships. We'll get into some of the turds on the slate here, but again, Bo Nix, clearly a highest owned guy. Makes sense. Yep. Gino, quarterbacks are always going to be high owned. Then you got Bowers and Janty and Troy Franklin coming up third. I think this is probably a go back to Sutton game. Like last week, they were up against Houston. Houston, a really elite defense. They're going to push the targets away from the WR1, which is why Cortland Sutton probably took a back seat. They got Stingley, got the Stingray. The Raiders don't have that. They don't have a top cornerback. They don't have a cornerback that I know of that isn't a game effector at all. Ooh, that's a good question. My guess. Can you see up here? That's your night. Ah! Back to it. Oh, sorry. My eyes. Do we need to make a rule for Denver RBs? I say no to this, Thomas Dyer. You could play them both. Absolutely. I like them both in the same lineup. I like them both today. You could play Harvey. Let's scroll down here. I just want to see where we are in the turd zone. Low owned players.
Yeah, Michael Mayer. Love Michael Mayer at 2,800.
There he is. 10% own Michael Mayer. There's an edge on the slate right there.
Tyler Lockett. Look at that ugly props projection at a 4.2. Sweet Lord.
Gross. Again, look, Mayer at 6, much better. But the other guy at super low ownership, Pat Bryant.
Yeah, he's worth a look for sure.
These are the kind of things that will win you the tournament this week. Like, you can't get that cute in the other spots. This is where we can get a little bit cute. I'm still yet to figure out if like salaries are going to be a problem on this one or not. Will Lutz, Carlson.
Trey Tucker at 7K. That's interesting.
Yeah, very playable. I like when the prop projection outpaces like the normie projection. That's usually a sign the bettors like this spot, or to bet unders on the sports book, in fairness. Cortland Sutton, 13 point. I think Cortland Sutton could have a game. Bowers, Gino, look at this gross projection for Gino, 13.5 for the quarterback. Terrible.
God, heaven.
All right, so Bobbywow, I think favorite turds here. Is it Mayer?
It's Mayer for me. Michael Mayer, favorite turd, 3K or less. No doubt about it. Any of these other turds playable? What are like Dante Thornton, or what are these other random WR2s? I'm intrigued by Jack Betch getting some ownership love. Look at that, 14%.
Surprising.
So people think he's going to step in a little bit here as a WR3 maybe.
I think the thought here. All right, let me break down what the thought probably is here. When they brought in Besh, a lot of people said like, wow, he does the same stuff as Jacoby Myers, right? He's not a deep ball guy. He's more of a route running slot wide receiver type. So what this is, I believe, is a projection and a prediction with no necessary, without an educated guess, I'm going to call it, on Besh having the same type of skill set or a similar skill set to Myers. Therefore, why wouldn't they just slot him right in there? Like, for example, this other guy, the other turd, whose name I can't remember anymore, Dante Thornton, is not a slot guy at all. He's very much an outside wide receiver, kind of in that role. So, the thought, it's not going to be Thornton. Okay, so who are they going to put in there? Is it Lockett? Well, Lockett's old and he's washed. I mean, Nathan Shepard thinks it's going to be Lockett for sure.
Nathan Shepard is so confident at this point that he's almost convinced me he's got some insider knowledge, or he's already seen the future here, because I've never seen anybody that's excited about Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, no, he's getting me excited. Like, okay.
Yeah, right.
Like, all right, I'm going to play some Lockett now. But remember, it's still a wide receiver against the Broncos. Broncos don't allow a lot of goodness.
I think the other turd that I will have more of than Mayer's my favorite. I think Troutman is a really intriguing super turd punt here, who's on the field. He played 75% of the snaps last week. Got a bunch of targets. He seems to be outplaying Evan Ingram, and we've seen him catch passes before. So Troutman, I think he's 1,200. Look, he's projecting at sub 5% ownership. So you're at the captain pricing, I think.
Am I?
Maybe not.
No, that's flex.
No, you're good.
1,600. 1,600. Very low owned.
He's probably my other super turd.
Yeah, and Jose Morales definitely Mayer over Besh for me and for Bobby. Besh is more of a guess. Mayer is going to be on the field 70+% of the snaps. They're just playing double tight end now, so they're doing this. So I'm just going to expect Mayer to be out there, and there's going to be this moment in this game where when you have Bowers, where you're like, Bowers touchdown, and it's going to be Mayer. All right, let's go. Super chat. Look out your window.
Whoa.
Yeah, and look who's out the window. A couple of cheating hearts in that little image. Last week I cashed big time using the Jesus reigns supreme. Your products are second to none. Yes, we love you. Look out your window. You're the man.
Cheating hearts.
What's that?
Just cheating hearts. That's a funny one. I know that picture, but cheating hearts.
What's the you talking about? Wait, what am I missing here that you're chuckling at?
No, just the cheating hearts. Just the way you described it. I know what the picture is. I know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's. Oh, I said that.
Yeah, you said that.
Correct. I don't even know what the hell I'm saying anymore. Yes, we all know the picture. Wait. Nickelback. Busted. It's the worst way to get busted. Troutman will be in two tight end sets with Mims out. He could see more action. Yeah, I mean, Troutman could just get more action with Evan Ingram kind of being dog shit. Of course, Evan Ingram might wake up also.
Yes, and this is one of those weird games where the Broncos are bizarre enough where it could be really close all game, and I would not be shocked if the Raiders cover here, but also in garbage time we could see like a Jack Betch catch a touchdown, or we could see Deonta Thornton, when the Raiders are down by 18 points with 2 minutes left, catch a touchdown. So you got to account for all that craziness too.
I mean, that's how you're going to win this, right? We have a basic approach. You're going to play. I mean, Bo Nix is in your lineup, right? You're going to try to get Bowers in the lineup. Probably trying to get Sutton in the lineup, right? Maybe the Broncos defense, some of that. And then this is where you're going to get unique. This is where you're going to get a little different. I think we need to reintroduce a segment on the slate called Turd of the Day. We need to have that as a segment, Turd of the Day. And I want the audience to participate as well. Guys, this Turd of the Day. Who's your favorite turd on the slate? Bobbywow and I were talking it through. We like Michael Mayer. Great. Maybe not even a turd that much. Adam Troutman. I'm going to throw Pat Bryant in the mix as well. Not owned. And he's a talented guy. We liked him in the preseason with Mims out. I like it. I'm down with that. So maybe it's Besh. Besh is that's a dice roll. That's a dice roller. We're hoping him. Is RJ Harvey considered a turd at 5,500, Bobby?
No.
Look
at his prop projection, solid 9.
That is really good. That's actually one of the better values on the slate. So yeah, you want to play some RJ Harvey?
Yes, it is.
That's one of the better value spots on the slate. Kickers are fine here. It's Mile High Stadium. You can kick 60 yards in Mile High Stadium. Both of these kickers are actual real world quality kickers. And I like the kicking game in defensive matchups. That does pop. A lot of these Bronco games are like, 15-9. And what happened? No one even scored a touchdown. It was just a bunch of field goals. So I think field goal kicker as a captain, I don't love that, but I'd give it a little bit of an actually, if the Raiders defense is so shit, I don't see how they can. Actually, no, I don't think so. Not as a captain, because I don't think the Raiders defense is good enough to really shut down the Broncos at all.
Yeah.
Broncos shut down the Raiders. Maybe. Raiders don't shut down the Broncos. All right, let's make a lineup, Bobbywow. Let's see what we could put together here based on what we just broke down.
Let's do it.
All right, so favorite captain, take me there.
Well, you said you like Sutton, so let's go with Sutton.
Yeah, I'm fine with Sutton as a captain. Of course,
obviously,
the cute thing about this, by the way, just to be clear, the cute thing about this is they're all about the same price. Like, I could just mix and match the same exact version. Like, Sutton and Bowers cost the same. Nick's not that much more.
Yep.
Let's throw Sutton in there. He has Sutton and Knicks.
Sutton and Knicks.
Bo. Sutton. Bo.
Bowers. We said we love Bowers.
Got to play some Bowers, right?
And then
Myers.
let's plug a turd in there.
That's Sam Myers. Michael Mayer, I mean.
Yep.
Favorite turd. Right here, you could go defense kicker. Harvey. All right, so this will be, this is it. This is the approach, guys. And right here, pick 2 spots from the remaining. It could go anywhere. We can go
Harvey's let's go Harvey.
Yeah, RJ Harvey.
Although, does that leave us in the dead zone?
It does. It does. It leaves you just under Tucker. Yeah, I mean, this is a little dead zoney, but there are little adjustments that can be made to make that work. But yeah, it's okay to be in the dead zone. I don't care. Like you could leave some salary, and with something like this, I can go right to a kicker or a Denver defense situation. Yeah, 5,400, 1,400 left, and then now I can explore. Oh, Mayer, is there anything better? You can go Mayer, Lockett, and Pat Bryant. All 3 of them, and Besh, all 4 of these can
there you go. Like you said, you can just rotate it in.
Yeah, can be cycled through.
Variation.
If we go to a cheaper one, and again, this RJ Harvey spot can be adjusted, or instead of Broncos, here's another way to do it. Instead of Broncos, can go down to kicker, like Will Lutz, and then again, a little bit more money potentially to make an adjustment, or to say, no, I really want Bo Nix as my captain. Okay.
Yep. There you go.
You can afford it. It does not change anything, right? Maybe I want Ashton Janty or something else instead of. I definitely want Bowers more than Janty, but what if I did? So, I think you can leave a little bit of salary on the table. Is it crazy to fade Bowers from the big game? No, I don't think it's crazy. I don't have any problem. I don't have a problem if you build your entire lineup for the Raiders being pure, hot, steaming, fresh dog dew. That could happen tonight.
Yes, it could.
Yeah, like the way that the Raiders have played, they could just be a steaming pile of turd. But I think the return of Bowers maybe energized that team just a little bit. They got rid of that Jacoby Myers thing that was bothering them for some reason. I don't know why. What was the problem? I don't know. But so there is a version of the game that plays out that the Raiders are steaming dog shit. And then there's a second version of the game that plays out where it's a little bit more balanced. They play a little better. Maybe maybe Bowers being a healthy player fixes what's been broken about that offense for most of this year. I don't know. It's been broken all year.
It's Geno Smith. He stinks.
But maybe he stinks because there's something else going on. Like he wasn't that bad with the Seahawks. I don't think he's just personally that bad of a quarterback. There's something else fundamentally wrong. It's like, how everybody looks like shit when they're on the Jets and then they leave and all of a sudden they look like they're a good player again. And then you're like, what? I thought he sucked. No, sometimes there's just something fundamentally wrong with the offense that they're in. And then they switch a team and it gets better.
Yeah, maybe. Geno had started to suck though. He was on the downtrend his final season with Seattle. But yeah, maybe.
You know what my actual read on Geno Smith is? Like, this has nothing to do with this showdown. My read on Geno Smith is that while he has the talent and he has like the accuracy and the physical attributes that you want, he's not a leader of men at all. And he does not inspire. And so that's okay. Not everybody's a leader of men. Not everybody has that skill set. But I think that's his, to be a great, to go beyond a good or average quarterback in the National Football League, to be a great one, you have to be a leader of men. And you have to be able to inspire it. And Geno just doesn't do that. I mean, he's just not that. There's other good quarterbacks who are also not that way. I don't want to say it's like anything's a pox against him. It just is what it is.
Yeah,
when that offensive lineman punched Geno in the face back in the Jets when he was a rookie, no one's punching Tom Brady in the face. I don't care.
That guy could have been just crazy too. But yeah, I agree.
No. It was
when you play for the Jets, it's like you're cursed. It's like you're under spells. So
it was a sign. It was a sign at that time. That never happens. and you're like, wow, that was weird. All right, let's jump over to FanDuel.
Yeah, I don't know that we're gonna. I don't know that we're gonna change much here, but
yeah, it'll be the same. I mean, there's not much because we're not really dealing with a lot of PPR upside. I'm just more curious about some of these prices and, of course, the ownerships. Yes, the change will be we're loading up on Bo Nix. I think you could play FanDuel today. All right, Bobbywow, I'm about to say something crazy.
Talk to me.
Actually, I don't want to go that far. Would it be that crazy to just play only Bo Nix on FanDuel this slate exclusively?
It wouldn't be that crazy. No, wouldn't be that crazy.
His captain projection on the props is 10 points above the next best guy. So he's a full 30% more projected fantasy points than any other player.
The argument against is you could get such good ownership leverage on the other guys that could get it done, relative to a different slate. Or like Genty. Genty, for example, you're never getting Genty sub 10% ownership on FanDuel on any other slate. Bowers, even Brock Bowers at sub 5% is just a little bonkers to me. I get it. Even Geno, he's so bad, but it's sub 10% ownership on FanDuel. You almost got to take some shots.
I get it. Contrarianism galore. Great.
But it's not even that contrarian. He's a quarterback. He's a quarterback
on the road at the Broncos who has looked terrible.
Missing their best player on defense.
Yeah. But
I'm just saying, those are the arguments against. Yeah. But yes, of course, the numbers point to Bo Nix being the clear, obvious guy.
Sometimes I like to just on FanDuel kind of eat that chalk and see if I can figure out the turd that no one else is playing to propel you to the win, or the weird approach, which frequently is like having like in a game like this would be like having Raiders defense for some stupid reason, and it works.
Yep.
Man, there have been a lot of games where Geno did not get any points. Everybody's like, well, Geno is the quarterback. He's going to get points. Probably will. Everybody's probably right. But I just want to, in case we're not aware that sometimes he doesn't get any points, my guy's coming off a 2, a 9, a 7, and a 12, a 6. So, yeah, he had a good game last week against the Jaguars at home. But when he's faced a good defense, for the most part, it's been frightening. But
I think the moral story here is he can get it done. He's had 20+ point games 3 times in the last 7 weeks. He could get it done.
Let me put my contrarian cap on for a second here, and I'll say this. So Geno has had good games 1, 2, 3 out of 9. 33% of the time this season, he's had a decent game, including, and again, I don't want to count it too hard, but like New England was a pretty good defensive team. He had a pretty good game against Washington. Even the Jaguars have not been again, these are not special defenses, but he's also failed in smash spots like at home against Chicago in week 4. And
well,
are we claiming that Chicago's defense is some top ranked unit? I know we're not. Like we're realistic. We're realistic around here. And then so he's failed in some. So then let's compare his 10% ownership to like the 33% of the time he has a good game. The only counter to it is if he's doing that, Bo Nix is probably doing more.
I don't know, man.
Remember that week I told everybody to play dart when he was on the road at the Broncos and he was producing a smash score, and then Bo Nix woke up and broke the slate in the comeback?
Yeah, but that was once in a lifetime. That was once in a lifetime. Putting up that many points in the fourth. That was Tim Tebow-esque.
And Nathan Shepard is right as well. All of that terribleness for Geno was when Bowers was out. They're effectively running a new offense here. All right, I think you're convincing me, Bobbywow. I want to believe.
I'm not trying to say smash him. I'm just trying to make a little bit of a case here and say, on FanDuel, and we've said this for years now, anytime we see a quarterback under 10% ownership, a starting actual decent QB in the NFL, you play him. That's a sign to go overweight. That's all.
It's almost always a quarterback on FanDuel. When it's not a quarterback, it's generally going to be a running back. I cannot get. I mean, to get behind Ashton Janty in this spot is very brutal. Massive underdog. It's just not where I play running backs heavily. Doesn't mean it can't get done, but I don't want to really back that. And then, I mean, yeah, I guess Bowers is so freaking good. It might be Bowers, Bobbywow. Their whole offense might run through Bowers.
It could be Bowers. Yeah, and I mentioned he's under sub 5% ownership here.
Yeah, I think Bowers is okay. Yeah, J.K. Dobbins for a little bit of a discount to the quarterback, probably fine. Do you hear that outside? Landscaper showed up, and it is like crazy in here. I can barely hear myself talking.
I heard it a little earlier, and it's back.
Yeah, they're back. They're like going crazy.
It sounds like someone's blasting a leaf blower right in the microphone.
Yeah, they're blasting leaves outside. Like it is just a leaf explosion going on out there. I can't even hear myself think. I'm keeping it real right now. Let's jump over to the flex position. Take a look at some of these ownerships and see what we can figure out in terms of the turd zone. So on FanDuel, where are we going for these turds? Like you got Mayer all the way at 4,600, Lockett, a lot of salary pay downs here.
Bryant's way cheaper on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings. Relatively.
Get a touchdown easily. This is the play that wins you the whole thing. And why is Besh? Once again, Besh, man, getting ownership. Okay. It's happening on FanDuel as well. You got to respect that.
Yeah, respect the Besh.
Evan Ingram, 5,600. Even that price is acceptable. RJ Harvey, Tucker, Cortland Sutton at 9,800. That's cheap.
Yeah, would it be the most shocking thing if all of a sudden Evan Ingram decides that he's back against the Raiders? Like he just has a game from last year where he actually looks good. That wouldn't be the craziest thing ever.
Yeah, just puts up a touchdown. I think this is Pat Bryant on DK. We like Pat Bryant already. I thought he was going to say Pat Bryant is captain. I wouldn't go that far. No. I think that's too far. I'm not even finding that it's that difficult to make lineups today. Like there's a lot of affordability. It's just really going to be about picking the right names and getting the right fades in there. Like I think Ashton Janty again does not project that great. Relative
Ingram's
to
too cheap
salary.
on FanDuel. He's way too cheap.
12-2.
Evan Ingram is too cheap.
Oh, I was going to say everybody's kind of cheap on FanDuel. Evan Ingram, 5,600, tight end, can score a touchdown. I think Troutman, your guy, at 1,800 at almost no ownership, one touchdown for Troutman could be a tournament winner as well.
Yeah, I like him as a turd. Him and Mayer are my two favorite turds for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's see if we can construct a FanDuel lineup that makes some sense. I do think we plug in Bo up top here as your basic. This is how you want to start your FanDuel lineup for the most part. Bowers is there. I think Dobbins or Harvey is I want a piece of. Which one, Bobbywow? Dobbins or Harvey?
Give me Harvey.
RJ.
Wolf.
All right. And then let's see here, 6,500. So here's where we want to get a little salary relief.
You want to go with one of your guys here? You want to go with Pat Bryant?
Yeah, I mean, this is a tournament winning kind of approach. Let's go Pat Bryant. My theory with Pat Bryant, again, we could play Besh and the turds from the Raiders. I get it. My theory though is the Raiders are probably, I want the winning team. I want the better side. I want the better side of it, right? I want the side that's probably going to be scoring a lot. The one thing we haven't really discussed is like this: the Broncos could absolutely just smash the Raiders here, be up 28-0, and then the Raiders do a little garbage time late. That's where you get your Bowers points from. Something will happen, but where the Broncos absolutely smash. Yeah, and Gabriel Prophet is right. Gabriel Prophet's out there spitting knowledge like a prophet. Got to get weird in showdowns. We saw what won last week. QB against the defense. Anything can happen. Even Raiders defense. Anything can happen in a showdown. All right. Where were we?
We're finishing a build for FanDuel.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Okay. So Pat Bryant, or I like Michael Mayer, I think, a little bit more. I'm really into this Michael Mayer thing.
Yeah, me too.
Let's
even Evan Ingram on FanDuel. Evan Ingram on FanDuel is just way too freaking cheap.
Yeah.
He's so gross, but he's just too cheap.
Let's see where we get to here. Because, I could swap to Evan Ingram. I think Evan Ingram's like a better risk. I don't love like Harvey and Brian in the same lineup. I think they're both like a little bit higher risky than I'd rather do. Right off the bat, though, I think you always want to play like a Will Lutz in Denver. I think Denver defense is super playable. Can go like that. Lutz defense. At this point, I'd probably shift. Do we even?
Get off Harvey. Let's get off Harvey. I'm curious. Do we have enough to get up to like?
Yeah, get Sutton in there.
There you go.
Knicks, Sutton, Bryant, Lutz, Broncos defense. Maybe it's a little too much Broncos with just Bowers.
Yep.
Yeah. And Tristan Alvarez, Tristan, you're getting it. You guys are absolutely thinking the right way. Anything can happen in a showdown. And we saw it last week. Like, just weird shit happens, and low owned spots are probably more valuable than like building correlation based on main slate logic. I mean, everybody's saying we actually back tested showdowns like captain versus opposing defense is the nuts 17% of the time. Bobbywow, thoughts on that? 17% of the time. Yeah. All right, guys. That takes us through it. I just want to do a real quick mention of Sharp App, guys. We got this amazing feedback from Goose0556 in the Discord today. And, Sharp App is the place to go for betting sharp, for advantage betting tools like the arbitrage tool, which is a money printing machine. Goose0556, look what he writes. Arb tool works. All live arbs and parlays mixed in for account health. Start with $1,500 balance. Use 4 different books. At the end of the month, he's up $6,000, mostly risklessly, using the Sharp App arbitrage tool. Live in-app arbitrage is crazy. Bobby, I've been printing cash like an ATM. It makes more money than your job.
It does.
More money than your job. I don't understand why you guys, what you're waiting for. Go check it out. We got a free trial going on Sharp App. You got a 3-day free trial right now. You can go to the sharp.app and check it out. You can go to the App Store and download the Sharp App from the iOS store. You need it. You need the app. You need the app. Yep. You can't even do, by the way, you can't do FanDuel online anymore. It has to be on the app. FanDuel did something where you can't direct click on to bet. FanDuel like geolocates you now. You have to use the app. Will your prop subscription? No, completely separate subscription. You're on Sharp App. The props sub at DFS Army has been crazy good, by the way. Those guys are printing cash. They're giving out picks. That's a different style. Sharp App are tools primarily for sharp bettors, advantage bettors that you can turn into a business. You can turn it into a business. What's the best state to be in for Sharp App? I'm going to say, legal betting states are the best. So New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Illinois, North Carolina, South Carolina, wherever you have legal sports books is great. I would say the best state is New Jersey. New Jersey has the most sports books, followed by Pennsylvania. They have the most sports books. And New Jersey has special sports books that don't exist anywhere else. Actually, Colorado's up there too. So those are the best spots. Effectively, you want the most sports books at your disposal as possible, especially exchange type sports books like Sport Trade or sharp books like Prime Sports and Circa. So, but they all work and it prints. But if you're in like a New Jersey or Pennsylvania, you could probably arb for like a couple years before it gets you. We don't show the liquidity currently on the tool for exchanges, but that's something that's coming soon. So the liquidity will be shown. Of course, you can see the liquidity where you go when you open up like Novig or ProfitX or one of those, but we don't show it currently on the arbitrage tool. Like I said, it's a free trial, so anybody can go check this out. It's totally free. Download it. There's a lot of cool pregame stuff as well. There's the sharp report, tells you who the sharps are on, just direct reporting if you're betting against the odds. Tristan, in Florida, you are at a slight disadvantage. Try to do the style of betting, but we have Darth Pasta, Chapo, a couple people in the system that kind of exist in states that aren't like that only have one or no sports books. You're not allowed to put any money on the Sharp app, Steven. Sharp app does not take any money or take any bets. So you would have to have funds on sports books. Sharp app is just pointing out and allowing and directing you to, here, I'll show you in real time how it works. Sharp app. So look, right now I'm going to click on the Proptimizer tool and you're going to be like, what the fuck? There are ARBs sitting there right now. This is live. So as soon as this pops up, which, yeah. Oh, no, that's the Proptimizer. Let me go to the ARB tool. And I'll show you. The Proptimizer is awesome too, but the ARB, no matter when you look, there's a big arbitrage opportunity just sitting there right now. Baltimore Vikings, Raiders Vikings. You bet the over 18.5 on Lamar. You bet the under 18.5 on Lamar for passing completions. This is a really good bet. You're getting plus 133 on Novig. You're getting minus 114 on Bally's. It's that simple. If I put 200 on this side, I would never bet 161. By the way, always use round numbers. But, I'm going to do 200 here, 150 or 160 there. And no matter which way it goes, you're going to make $15. It's that simple. Win, lose, you always win. You do, 5 or 10 of these a day. You print your $150. Don't abuse it. Then you move over to the Proptimizer tool. And then we start grabbing props against the spread. This is how you use the Sharp app. Jump over to the Proptimizer tool. These look like college games. I don't have college. So I just get rid of that. I go to NFL and NBA. That's the only thing I like to bet on. I get rid of the other stuff, and I'm going to just go right through it. Under 43.5 rushing yards, bam, hit it. Lamar Jackson, passing attempts over 27, bam, hit it. Just all the edges above 20%, I just hit them, and I'm done. What's the risk to moving to a league? Yes, Caveman Yogi. If you don't work your account health, so account health is an important part of being able to do ARBs. But yes, eventually, no matter how you're winning on sports books, I'm going to tell you this: it doesn't matter if you're ARBing or advantage betting or using the Proptimizer. Eventually, if you're beating the sports books consistently, they will take note and they will start to limit your account. Does not matter how you're doing it, how much money you can win before that happens. Listen. We just saw in the first month, in his first month, Goose took $6,000 from them. Let's say he takes another 6 and another 6, and then he gets limited to the point where he can't bet as much. All right, but he takes another 3 and another and another. And then, 8-9 months in, he's only getting $5 bets in or $10 bets in. But he looks back and he said, wow, I took $75,000 from the sports books before that happened. That's a win. And then you switch to other types of betting. You could still use those accounts. We could still do EV betting. We have the Proptimizer tool, and there are exchanges. You'll never be disallowed from betting. You just might not be able to go crazy. As far as Florida people, you're in a disadvantage. You have to really just pregame, and you're going to use exchanges. And in Florida, you're going to use exchanges and what are called sweepstakes sports books. So Fliff, Better, ProfitX, you can still do it, but you're not going to do them live. You're doing them pregame. Yes, hitting bet now sends you to the sport. Let me show it. What happens when I hit bet now? Hold on. Let me go to the arbitrage. I'll show you exactly what happens. Not only does it send you to the sports book, it's going to open the ticket. So I'm going to do this on DraftKings because FanDuel does a thing where I need to be on mobile. Oh, I got to be logged in. You know what? Just know that it opens the ticket as well. Yeah. So it will open the betting ticket so you don't have to go find the market. If I'm logged in, that's what would have happened. It will go right to it, and it's going to open the betting slip so you can bet it really fast. Yeah, but I got to be logged in. So do we? Yes, we both like Cortland Sutton as potential captains. And guys, and Steven and anyone else, if you want to go check out Sharp App, like I said, there's a 3-day trial loaded in there. you could click the link in the description of this video, sharp.app/geek, or just go to Sharp app, load it up. You want to do the trial, check it out, and I will guarantee if you're live arbing, you'll make a year subscription, the cost of the year, which is like $7.99 if you did the whole year, for which you should, you'll make that back in the first week. And then you'll have this arbitrage tool live in game and everything else for an entire year to print cash. It's like a business. Think of it like if you're going to become a power washing business, you need to buy the power washing machine. You can't just go around and spray hoses at people's houses. You got to buy the machine. That's what Sharp App does. It gives you the tool to go out and put it to use and print yourself $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month for a few months. Again, Goose did it on a $1,500. The reason I love this testimonial from him is because most of the people say, I don't have enough money to do it. Oh, I can't put $5,000 in all these different sports books. That's not what it is. Even with $1,500 starting, you just print every single day, green, green, green. And then you look up and you're like, $150 a day. Wow, that's not that much. But 10 days later, you made $1,500. And then 20 days later, you're like, holy shit, I'm up $3,000. Just do $150 a day and don't abuse it. So Stephen Nadeau, the other thing I would just tell you is do not abuse it. Don't go crazy and just pregame arb 1,000 arbs. They're always there. So there is some temptation to abuse these. I never touch one less than 3% because I don't want to just churn volume. I'm waiting for good ones. You do not have to move to a blue state. North Carolina has it. And Pennsylvania is not a blue state, Tristan Oliver. Yeah. Did they never ban you for that? No, you'll get limited eventually. Like I said, eventually you'll start you don't get banned. What happens is they limit how much money you could put down. So, after a few months of doing this, instead of being able to bet $400 or $500, you might only on each side of an arb, one of your sports books may limit you down to $100 or $50 or something like that. The funny thing is a lot of people who are using the tool don't really bet more than $50 or $100 anyway. It doesn't even matter. Yeah, Texas, that's where Darth Pasta is. You're going to do pre-games there. That's the whole thing. We have a lot of guys doing this in Texas. You don't need the live in-game version of Sharp. You just do the pregame, the basic $69.99 plan. Don't do the higher one. You'll do pregame arbs. You'll use sweepstakes and exchanges in Texas. Novik, ProfitX, Onyx Odds. There's a lot of them. And our Discord, Chop in there, Darth Pasta in there. They'll talk you through how to do it. Yeah. I don't know what's up with Connecticut. There's no FanDuel in Connecticut. DraftKings and FanDuel is all you really need. Caesars. Anyway, all right, let's wrap it up there. Bobbywow, that was a much longer Sharp app discussion than I was expecting to do at the end of the Showdown breakdown. But okay. You know what? It is. Listen, we've built a system that allows you to make money and print cash every single day, risklessly or with minimal risk, or at very minimum to take money back from sports books that have been taking money from you. My favorite people in Sharp are the ones who've been betting for a long time, and they've been getting their ass kicked, and then they can take the money back from the sports book. Take it back. Take it back. They're not going to limit you before you take that money back. That's another thing. Maybe you start taking a lot of money from them. Sure, you're up 10, 15, 20 grand against DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars, whatever. They're going to be like, dude, this guy's good at betting. Fuck that. Right? You know what? Great. I want to be that. That's how I know that everybody who claims to bet all these big bets and isn't limited, they're all full of shit, because they won't let you take that much money from them before eventually they stop you. All right. That's going to do it. Showdown breakdown. NFL Week 10, Thursday night football. Good luck tonight, everybody. Helmets up. We'll be back tomorrow. Tournament tactics, 5 p.m. sharp. It's going to be a big, epic episode. Burns was on the draft battle this week, Bobbywow.
Oh,
yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah, it feels like a grudge match.
I love it.
There we go. We'll see what happens there as well. That's out here on the DFS Army YouTube channel. Tune in tomorrow at 5 for Tournament Tactics, where we go over everything you need to know for the Sunday main slate for big tournaments. And then, of course, I'll be back on Saturday, the Players Club for members, pro members, DFS Army VIPs, where we'll build lineups together for big tournaments. Bobbywow, I did not do well in my handcrafts from Players Club last week. Did not work out that great, but I had one little sneaky little $3 lineup in the play action that climbed its way up to 22nd place.
Whew.
Got me a nice little $2,000 win, and it made everything seem great.
Let's go.
That's all you
need.
That's all you need. Good luck, everyone. Helmets up. We'll see you guys next time.